As Sartory's career flourished, so did the shadows that lurked within his brilliant mind. His exceptional intellect and contributions to scientific advancements were marred by an escalating struggle with paranoia and social anxiety. Colleagues noted a gradual withdrawal from interpersonal interactions as Sartory became increasingly engrossed in the complexities of his own thoughts. The turning point in Sartory's life occurred in 1975 when he received classified information regarding a government project at ORNL. The nature of this revelation intensified his paranoia, triggering a profound distrust in those around him. Consumed by the fear of being surveilled and undermined, Sartory retreated further into isolation. The once vibrant scientist, whose mind had once been a beacon of innovation, now found solace in the dimly lit corners of his own fears. Whispers of government conspiracies echoed through his thoughts, and every shadow seemed to harbor unseen eyes. His colleagues, initially concerned for his well-being, were left helpless as Sartory spiraled into a realm of isolation that only fueled his growing anxiety. In 1982, Sartory's world collapsed when he was abruptly dismissed from ORNL due to his deteriorating mental state. Stripped of his security clearance and professional standing, he retreated to Hebron, Kentucky, where the quiet town became the backdrop for the final act of his tragic tale. Isolated and haunted, Sartory's paranoia intensified, and he became convinced that he was being pursued by unseen forces. His home, once a sanctuary, transformed into a fortress against imagined threats. The town, unaware of the storm brewing within the walls of Sartory's mind, watched as the brilliant scientist became a recluse. In the cold winter of 1985, the town of Hebron awoke to a somber reality. Walter Sartory, the once celebrated scientist, was found lifeless in his home. The cause of death was ruled as suicide. The brilliant mind that had contributed so much to the world of science had succumbed to the relentless shadows of paranoia and social anxiety. Hebron, forever marked by the tragedy of Sartory's descent into isolation, became a silent witness to the fragility of even the brightest minds. The tale of Walter Sartory serves as a haunting reminder that brilliance and vulnerability can coexist, and that the shadows within one's mind can cast a darkness that even the most luminous intellect may struggle to escape. As Sartory settled into his retired life in Hebron, the town remained blissfully unaware of the tumultuous storms raging within the recesses of his mind. His move, initially driven by convenience, brought an unexpected twist to his narrative. Far from the corridors of the ORNL and the classified projects that had fueled his paranoia, Sartory's genius found a new outlet in the form of financial markets. Immersing himself in the complexities of stock market dynamics, Sartory's mathematical brilliance shone once again. He meticulously crafted an algorithm that navigated the intricacies of the market, turning his modest retirement savings into a staggering $14 million portfolio. The town, accustomed to the quiet rhythms of suburban life, remained oblivious to the financial wizardry unfolding behind the closed doors of Sartory's home. Despite his success in the financial realm, the shadows of mental illness persisted. His diagnosed paranoid schizophrenia manifested in peculiar ways. Sartory, convinced that the CIA was orchestrating an elaborate espionage operation against him, harbored a belief that ants were trained to spy on his every move. This bizarre conviction, a testament to the relentless grip of his mental struggles, stood in stark contrast to the rationality that had characterized his scientific endeavors. Navigating the delicate balance between genius and affliction, Sartory continued to receive psychiatric care and relied on medications to manage his conditions. The tranquil facade of Hebron, with its neat rows of houses and serene streets, masked the ongoing internal battle of a man whose mind vacillated between brilliance and torment. Sartory's retirement years were a paradox, a time of financial success juxtaposed with the enduring challenges posed by his mental health. The town, now touched by the presence of a scientific luminary turned financial prodigy, remained unaware of the intricate tapestry that defined Sartory's existence. In the twilight of his life, Walter K. Sartory became an enigmatic figure in the quiet town of Hebron. His genius, once celebrated within the hallowed halls of scientific discovery, found an unexpected outlet in the volatile world of finance. As the shadows of paranoia and social anxiety persisted, Hebron remained a backdrop to the complex narrative of a man whose brilliance and vulnerability coexisted in a delicate dance, echoing through the corridors of both scientific history and the financial markets. The investigation took a perplexing turn as the sheriff's deputy delved deeper into the mystery of Walter K. Sartory's disappearance. The once bustling monitoring station, where algorithms hummed with financial calculations and computers analyzed signals from the cosmos, now sat silent and abandoned. Sartory's absence echoed through the empty rooms, leaving a void that spoke to the enigmatic nature of his departure. The medications found in his home, remnants of his ongoing battle with mental illness, intensified concerns about his well-being. The Cardis, who had shared countless conversations with Sartory, were gripped by a sense of unease as they recounted the last months of their online friendship. The abrupt cessation of communication in February 2009 raised red flags, prompting them to take decisive action to ensure their friend's safety. The encounter with Willa Blanc, the local cleaner, added a layer of complexity to the unfolding narrative. Sartory's expressed suspicions, coupled with the eerie emptiness of his residence, created an atmosphere of uncertainty. The possibility of involvement in a confidence racket or the casing of his house raised questions about Sartory's mental state and the extent to which paranoia may have influenced his perceptions. The Boone County Sheriff's Department, now faced with a conundrum that blended elements of psychological fragility and potential external threats, intensified its efforts to unravel the mystery. Interviews with neighbors, examination of surveillance footage, and forensic analysis of Sartory's home became integral components of the investigation. As the town of Hebron held its collective breath, awaiting answers to the disappearance of the brilliant scientist turned financial savant, the narrative of Walter K. Sartory became a tapestry woven with threads of genius, mental struggle, and the mysterious circumstances surrounding his last days. The once quiet town now found itself thrust into the midst of a perplexing tale, where the boundaries between reality and paranoia blurred, leaving both the investigators and the community grappling with the enigma of Sartory's final chapter. The revelation of the chilling sequence of events sent shockwaves through the once quiet town of Hebron. The intricate web of deceit, manipulation, and exploitation surrounding Walter K. Sartory's disappearance began to unravel with the discovery of Willa's power of attorney over his finances. The orchestrations of significant wire transfers from Sartory's accounts to Willa's, carried out on February 18th, marked the onset of a sinister plot to exploit the brilliant scientist's substantial wealth. Paul Blanc's testimony, shedding light on Willa's gambling habits and mounting debts, added a layer of greed to the unfolding tragedy. A disturbing timeline emerged, implicating the Blanc family in a series of events that included a suspicious car accident, the purchase of a Corvette, and attempts to dispose of a trash can believed to contain Sartory's remains. Louis Wilkinson, Willa's son, became a key figure in the investigation. During questioning, he revealed a lifetime of abuse and manipulation by his mother, providing a glimpse into the psychological dynamics that led to his involvement in the alleged plot. The once prominent scientist, confined in the basement of Blanc's home, had become a pawn in a macabre game of exploitation and deception. As investigators meticulously pieced together the puzzle, the unsettling truth emerged. Sartory, stripped of his freedom and confined to a basement cell, succumbed to the harrowing circumstances around February 22, 2009. The alleged architects of this tragic fate, Blanc and Wilkinson, were accused of transporting Sartory's lifeless body to Indiana, concealed within a 50-gallon plastic trash can. Their audacious claim that they needed to dispose of a dead dog added a disturbing layer to the narrative, highlighting the calculated lengths to which they went to conceal their heinous actions. The once quiet town of Hebron, now thrust into the glare of a dark and disturbing tale, grappled with the realization that the shadows lurking within Sartory's mind had been exploited by those he should have been able to trust. The brilliant scientist, whose intellect had once illuminated the halls of scientific discovery and financial prowess, had become a victim of a sinister plot orchestrated by those who saw him not as a colleague or friend, but as a means to an end. The dark saga of Walter Sartory continued to unfold in the aftermath of his tragic demise. The extent of Willa's financial exploitation became even more egregious in the wake of his death. Posthumously, she continued her calculated scheme, gaining access to Sartory's funds and orchestrating transfers that drained his accounts. A total of $210,000 was siphoned from his Fifth Third account, and the depths of her deception extended to a Fidelity account holding a substantial $1.3 million. The legal aftermath of this chilling tale took center stage as a lawsuit was filed against Fifth Third Bank and Fidelity Investments. The lawsuit contended that these financial institutions should have identified the fraudulent nature of the documents Blant used to access Sartory's funds. The legal proceedings promised to shed light on the vulnerabilities within the financial system that allowed such exploitation to occur even after the victim's death. As the legal drama unfolded, Willa, defiant and unapologetic, found herself facing a litany of charges that reflected the gravity of her crimes. Kidnapping, murder, abuse of a corpse, and theft by deception formed the formidable list of accusations against her. The courtroom became a stage for the reckoning of a woman who had not only exploited the vulnerabilities of a brilliant mind, but had orchestrated a sinister plot that led to its tragic end. In January 2012, the courtroom drama reached its climax as Willa pleaded guilty to the charges. By doing so, she managed to avoid the death penalty but received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The consequences of her actions, spanning financial exploitation, kidnapping, and murder, were etched into the legal records, ensuring that justice, albeit late, was served. Lewis Wilkinson, implicated as a co-conspirator in this harrowing tale, also faced the legal consequences of his involvement. He pleaded guilty to charges of kidnapping, abuse of a corpse, and exploitation of an adult. His sentence, a 30-year prison term with parole eligibility in 2029, served as a reminder of the complicity that had led to the downfall of a brilliant scientist and the exploitation of a vulnerable mind. The courtroom proceedings marked the conclusion of a tragic chapter in Hebron's history. The quiet town, once touched by the brilliance of Walter Sartory, was left grappling with the echoes of a tale that exposed the darkest facets of human nature, a tale of manipulation, exploitation, and the devastating consequences that can arise when trust is betrayed. The circumstances surrounding Sartory's kidnapping, the timeline of events leading to his death, and the cause of death remain shrouded in mystery. The case paints a dark chapter in the life of a brilliant mind, underscoring the devastating consequences of unchecked greed and the vulnerability of isolated individuals. The Hebron community, along with Sartory's virtual family, formed on an internet bulletin board, mourned the loss of a man with a heart of gold. The legal saga surrounding the tragic fate of Walter Sartory left a community in shock and a nation grappling with the disturbing details that unfolded within the once quiet town of Hebron. As the courtroom drama reached its conclusion, questions lingered about the motives and actions of Willa Blant and her son Lewis Wilkinson. What drove them to exploit the vulnerabilities of a man already plagued by severe mental health issues? Was it solely greed, or were there deeper layers to the sinister plot that led to Sartory's untimely demise? The tale of Walter Sartory serves as a stark reminder of the heinous acts that can arise from unchecked greed, and a callous disregard for the well-being of others. The exploitation of a brilliant mind, not only in life but even after death, underscores the darker corners of human nature. The chilling details of the case lay bare the consequences of unchecked avarice, revealing the depths to which some individuals are willing to sink for personal gain. As the legal system sought justice for Sartory, the nation was forced to confront the uncomfortable reality that such malevolent acts can occur even within the seemingly tranquil confines of a small town. The tale of Hebron became a cautionary narrative, urging society to remain vigilant against the potential for exploitation and abuse, particularly when vulnerable individuals are targeted. The chilling case of Walter Sartory continues to captivate the nation, leaving an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. It prompts reflection on the fragility of trust and the importance of safeguarding those who may be susceptible to manipulation. The aftermath of the case also spurred conversations about the need for increased scrutiny within financial institutions, highlighting the imperative of identifying and preventing fraudulent activities that can have devastating consequences. In the annals of criminal history, the tragic story of Walter Sartory stands as a reminder that justice must not only be pursued, but also serve to protect the vulnerable and hold the perpetrators accountable. The tale serves as a somber reflection on the potential for darkness within the human soul, and a plea for a society that remains vigilant against the shadows that may lurk beneath the surface.